All right, here we go. So what we're doing now isn't really it's kind of a stepping stone, okay? Notice there's no X's or anything up here. This skill that we're about to work on and practice today a lot is a skill that's going to be in the middle of what we're doing for the next couple of lessons. So basically, I need to know if you can find out two numbers that satisfy this, two numbers that do both of these things. So two numbers that multiply to be 35 and add to be 12. So you have a list of everything that multiplies to be 35. It's 1 and 35, it's 5 and 7. Pretty short list. Well, which pair adds up to be 12? So that's my answer. 5 times 7 is 35, 5 plus 7 is 12. All right? So I look here. What multiplies to 21 and adds to 10? Got a guess? Sure. 3 and 7. Okay? Multiplies 21, adds to 10. Good. It gets a little trickier when we start throwing negatives around. So what multiplies to negative 18 and adds to negative 7? Well, if it multiplies to negative 18, first off, boys and girls, you need to focus on the multiply number. That's why you have that list in front of you of all the things that multiply to a certain thing. That's your primary focus. Because I have an infinite number of things that add to negative 7. I can do that forever. There's a very short list of things that multiply to negative 18. Now that list you have in front of you has 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6, but those don't multiply to be negative 18. Those multiply to be positive 18. So I know if it multiplies to be a negative, what has to be true about one of these numbers? Yeah, it has to be a negative. So now it could be that, or it could be that. Could be the small numbers the negative, could be the bigger numbers the negative. But we have a nice little trick that helps narrow down our list. Because if it adds up to a negative number, if it adds to be a negative, what do I know about where the negative is? Which one has to be negative if it adds up to be a negative number? Yeah, the big number has to be the negative. So I don't have to worry about that list at all. Now, obviously, most of you have seen the pair, 2 and negative 9. They multiply to negative 18, they add to negative 7. So, when you go through and look at a list, you look at the list for 24. This tells me one of them has to be a negative. This tells me it's the big number. And there it is. Now, obviously, you're not writing down the list every time because you've got it in front of you. I strongly recommend you don't write on your list, because you start writing negatives, then the next time you use that number, the negatives are going to be in your way. Unless you want to lightly write in pencil maybe and then erase it, but then it's just going to be a mess on your paper. So you may want to write off to the side somewhere, some scratch paper. Just copy the list that's in front of you. Put the negatives in the appropriate places. So obviously our combination right here is 4 and negative 6. One more I want to work through with you. Take a look at this. What multiplies to 45 but adds to negative 14? How can something multiply to a positive but add to be a negative? All right. Yeah, they're both negative. So again, I have that list of 45 written down there, and I see if I make 5 and 9 negative, those multiply to be positive 45, and they add to be negative 14. All right? So the signs of these numbers can help you figure it out. Do the rest of these on your own. All right, so this should be positive 6 and negative 5. If I look here, this should be negative 20 and negative 3. This is What is that one? Does that one work? 32, 36. I'm drawing a blank. Come up here. Ah, this one. 1 and 15, negative 5 and positive 4. And this one is 21 and negative 4. Still racking my brain for that one. Did I have a typo or does it actually work? Let me go to my list I have written out here. That one does not work, does it? That's a typo on my fault. So this one, sorry. All right, that's what you have to do today. Just find two numbers that do that, use that list in front of you. Good luck.